Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Howson. This is 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United get 1 foot into the semi-final against Granada last night. And at number 1 then, like I said, 1 foot in the semi-finals. 1-0 would have been a trickier ask, especially if they'd have got an away goal. Things could have started getting very interesting very, very quickly when they come back to Old Trafford. So 1-0 was a little bit of a tricky sort of scoreline to be going into the second leg with, but Bruno Fernandes' penalty right at the death, making it 2-0, pretty much puts us into the semi-finals now, barring an absolute collapse at Old Trafford, which, let's be honest, isn't necessarily the craziest thing that we've ever heard of. In beating Granada, United last night ended a 3-match winless run in the first leg of European quarterfinals, and we put ourselves in a very good position to face either Ajax or Roma in the next round. And I think it's going to take a monumental collapse from this point in, really, to see United not make that semi-final with, like we said, either Ajax or Roma. Number 2 closed on Thursday. So Sergio Romero's career at United was largely revolving around the fact that he was the Europa League goalkeeper, but also how little he conceded as the Europa League goalkeeper. And generally, United don't really concede when we're in this competition. Now, Henderson and De Gea between the sticks, United have conceded only 5 goals in 11 Europa League knockout games since the start of last season, keeping 7 clean sheets. And as a famous saying goes, if your defence is winning your titles, and United have every chance of lifting this Europa League title this season, it's going to be on the back of having a very solid defence, as the attackers stuttered a little bit at times, but the fact that we're keeping clean sheets is only a positive for us. And even though it's probably a tougher ask in the semi-final than we've had so far, I think it's one that we're probably a match for. Number 3, 2020 for Marcus Rashford. The fact that Rashford has been directly involved in 31 goals this season whilst carrying injuries for the vast majority of it is ridiculous. The fact that he reached another milestone last night, which he was becoming the first player to score 20-plus goals for United for the second successive season since Wayne Rooney in 2010. And he still gets no respect from the majority of this fan base. His opener last night was brilliantly taken, and I don't think enough was made about how good that touch was. It was Berbatov-esque. It was absolutely sensational. And now in United's 23 goals in European competition this season, 15 have either been scored by Marcus Rashford, who's got 8, or Bruno Fernandes, that's got 7. Also, considering that Rashford was the joint top scorer in the Champions League group stage with 6, it's unbelievably exciting to think that what he might achieve once he gets 100% fit. Fernandes reliable again. So Fernandes had an influential showing, I thought, last night against Granada, and topped it off by ending his 5-match goal drought with a slightly fortunate penalty. He won 100% of his tackles against Granada, 85% pass accuracy, touched 73 touches, won 6 duels, 4 ball recoveries, drew 4 fouls, and took 4 shots, as well as creating, more importantly, 4 chances. Fernandes has now scored 19 of the 20 penalties that he's taken for United and has been directly involved in 38 goals in 47 games this season, with 24 goals and 14 assists. It's frankly ridiculous numbers. And finally, card happy official. The referee in this game made Premier League referees look world class. It was lucky that it didn't affect United's performance in the short term, but it could have done. It very much could have done. We resulted in 3 very important players earning suspensions for the second leg, slightly fortunately because we might have got the job done last night in the tie, so it hopefully won't affect, and it means that those rotations are now forced. But Granada committed 14 fouls to United's 12, and United received 5 yellow cards to their 2, 3 of which came on a first or second challenge in the first half. Scott McTominay, Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire, for a very notably first time, will now miss the return second leg. And it's a good job that United managed to seal it up, because those 3 could have been very, very key if we were still trying to fight for this tie, or if we still needed to try and get back into it. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite us in the arse. Hopefully that United can get the job done. I would like to see a little bit more rotation. It was nice to see Elanga elevated into the squad. I would have been shocked if we'd have seen him feature, but it is what it is. I think it's the opportunity now. Big game at weekend. Get that done. Let's see what next week brings. I would go with a slightly rotated side, but get ourselves into the semi-final, because we've got a right matchup coming up. Let me know in the comments, who do you think we're going to be facing? Is it going to be Ajax? Is it going to be Roma? And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Laters.